So unfortunately, I don't have Stan to introduce me. My name is David Miller. I am the founder and CEO of Mobile Discovery. And to my right is Jennifer Graham, also with Mobile Discovery. And we're here today to talk about the case trial, in general, go into a little bit more depth and detail about all of the use cases that you see around the room here. And also to talk a bit about the Mobile Discovery platform that enables all of this stuff. You know, with any good startup or with any new technology, there's usually a problem that folks are looking to solve. And in this case, it's a threefold problem. And it starts with traditional print advertising and the fact that it's a static medium. It's not interactive. It does not allow for multimedia. And quite frankly, it's getting beat out in the market by internet advertising that does have all of those capabilities. Internet's got the tracking capability, the multimedia, the e-commerce, and print is nice, but it lacks some of those more mature characteristics. Secondly, the wireless carriers, which is my background, have made a huge investment into data products. So the Sprint EVDO network, a lot of money goes into allowing people to get email on their phone, to download screensavers or ringtones, and the carriers want to deliver services that allow people to do more. And that includes internet access. And the Apple iPhone was a huge step in that direction, and it's helped to solve a lot of the problems that historically kept people from doing that. But there's still a lot of problems that need to be solved. And that gets to the third point here, is that the mobile web is problematic. Mobile search. If you think about how most people find content on their laptop, you pull up Google, you do a search, you've got a really fast internet connection, you get a whole bunch of results back, you look through your results, and you pick what you want. On the mobile device, it's very different. So, data entry is a real issue. Typing in, Chevy Silverado on a mobile device is really a bit of a challenge. And then you've got the issue of not a large pipe, but a small pipe. So the interaction with the network it's a little bit slower. And then you've got the limited screen size, so you can't scroll through hundreds of results. In addition, mobile URLs are generally not intuitive. Everybody knows what their favorite URLs are: CNN.com, Yahoo.com, maybe Match.com. Whatever. But mobile URLs are not so easy to remember, and it presents another challenge. So basically, we look at these issues, and we believe that we've found a solution in the codes. And the 2D codes will drive mobile internet adoption and link the affinity for print, because people like print. It's a timeless medium. I'm not predicting print goes away. I think it's going to be here for a long time. But this technology augments print and brings some of the new media capabilities to print. So just a quick overview of how it works, and I'd be very happy to walk folks through the museum that we have set up here later. We've got demo phones, and we're happy to walk folks through. But basically the way it works is you take a mobile device with a camera phone, and you use the camera to scan the small code that appears in a print ad. That code acts like a print hyperlink. So the same way that you browse the web and you see a word that's kind of bolded or underlined, and you can click on that and go to new content, the print hyperlinks act the same way. So you scan it with your camera, and it acts like a hyperlink, bringing up new content on your phone. And you can rest assured, in this case, you're going to get content that has to do with Toyota. So to a certain extent what you're getting yourself into. And this is a regular ad from a bicycling magazine. What we did is we mocked it up to make it interactive. So the enter to win a bike tour is something that our graphic designers put in there, as well as scan to enter, and we dropped in the code, just to showcase how a historical static ad with a few slight modifications can be interactive and can offer a sweepstakes to the audience. So in this situation, in order to do this, the advertiser has a number of needs. that range from management of codes across magazines. Maybe you want to run this not only in Bicycling Magazine, but Car and Driver or Road and Track or Esquire or Elle or a host of different magazines. You want to be able to measure the analytics that go along with this. So how many people from Elle looked at it versus Car and Driver? That's very important data to the advertisers. Maybe you want to run a sweepstakes. Maybe you want to deliver multimedia content. The way we have this one set up is you can look at, you can see number 2 there is you can watch a video, the folks on a training ride. Number 3 is an audio file where you listen to the team captain talk about their strategy for the upcoming race season. And then numbers 5, 6, and 7 correlate with what is in the top right of the ad. It's hard to see, but building champions, changing lives, and making history. Those are the 3 tenets of the Toyota bike team. So just a quick overview of what Mobile Discovery is and what we do. We're a technology company that provides service to advertisers and brands, allowing them to create, manage, and track a cross-carrier to decode mobile marketing campaign. It's called a code management platform. We've branded ours. It's called Code Intelligence. And all of these services are delivered via a self-service web portal where we've designed it for non-technical users to go in and to configure and set and design and build and launch, manage, track their campaign from front to back. The way we see 3 stakeholders in the world. We see advertisers who we see as our customers. That's who we're serving. We see wireless carriers as our partners. We're helping them to deliver new services to market. And we see consumers as someone who we want to deliver a good user experience to. So this is just a couple screenshots from our portal. This slide showcases how an advertiser would build content. So there's different types of content that one can build. We've got varying templates that allow varying degrees of customization and complexity. QVC had a custom-made template for the promotions that they did here at Case Western. But another option is purely customized template. In this situation, you see Capital One is halfway through the design of the mobile content that they want to come up when a code is scanned. So you have to remember, a code in and of itself is really quite useless. It's everything that the code does after it's scanned. The code is just the hyperlink, and it's an introduction to content. And so the code gets you in the door, and then once you're in the door, that's when the multimedia experience takes over. That's when the sweepstakes happen. That's when the contest. That's when everything happens. So we allow folks to design that using our portal. This is another example of what's on the poster over here. In this case, this is what Car and Driver designed using the portal. And it's standing right next to the ad itself. So the ad is the end product that goes in the magazine, but the diagram next to it is the wireframe that the consumer can interact with from the landing page when the code is scanned. And so it's a good example to see really behind the scenes how it looks. The USA Today ad is another one. It's over there on your right. And basically the options when you click on that one, and again, we're happy to do the demos later, is you can opt in to receive either text message alerts or email news alerts. So what our system allows you to do is basically subscribe to those services without having to key in all of your information. So when the students at Case first signed up for the service, they provided some information, some personal information about themselves, and that allows them to share that information with marketers and advertisers who they choose to share it with. So it's the control is completely in the hands of the user. When you scan all of these codes, it asks you before it shares anything. It will tell you what you're about to share, and you say yes or no. So I was just explaining the Q code campaign in the back there. In that situation, QVC has asked to receive your name, your address, your email, and your phone number. And it's not all that different than maybe 5 years ago if they had a little form, and you'd go up to their table and you'd fill out their form and you'd enter the contest that way. If you don't want to enter their contest, you don't fill out their form. And in the mobile environment, we provide the users with the same two options. You enter and share your information, or you don't. But our goal is to facilitate it and make it very simple and easy. So it's very fast and a very elegant solution. This is the back-end feed that USA Today sees on their end. So we've built the integration so that it's an automatic sharing of information. We call these trusted marketers because there's a policy-based relationship that we engage with them. When our consumers are sharing information, we want to make sure that the consumers are protected from spam, that they're not going to get 1,000 emails or text or whatever. So when USA decides to use this information, they're using it only for the purpose for which you shared it. So we think that's a very good thing. And so the fact that it's automated going to USA Today makes for a very elegant solution. And all of the campaigns that we've set up, whether it's free subscription to a gift magazine, back there where it says free subscription, scan and receive, or if it is entry into the QVC contest, the back-end integration is very clean and it allows for a simplified experience. One of the other pieces to this platform that we've built is integration with some of the social networking sites. So we view this as just one of many channels. So you've got the mobile channel, you've got the television channel, you've got internet, you've got newspaper. So today, people like to multitask, they like to share channels, they like to switch back and forth. A lot of the millennial generation will consume multiple channels at once. So if any of you have kids, you might have seen this, they'll sit at their computer, they'll have the TV on, they have 5 IM sessions open, there's email coming and going, their phone's ringing, and to a lot of us it's like, it's mind-boggling, but kids these days, that's the environment that they're growing up in. And so what we seek to do is we want to allow folks using our platform, whether it's advertisers or nonprofits or whomever, to be able to leverage across channels. So if a consumer starts the experience on the mobile phone, they can shift and pick up the experience from Facebook. And if you see on the bottom right, it says Codebook. That's our application. If you open Codebook, this is what you see. And it's a reverse chronological listing of all of your code scans. So as a consumer, I can scan something, but I don't have to interact with it right then and there. It's just kind of like a bookmark. And I know that I can come back to the internet, pick it up in Facebook, and complete my experience there. And we allow the advertisers to define where these links go to. So the advertiser will define what you see on your mobile device. They'll also define what you'll see from your laptop. And it's two completely different experiences. As an advertiser, I want to provide one experience here and a richer, fuller experience from the laptop. And as an advertiser, I'm able to do that. The other powerful thing to the advertisers is you can see how many people start here and pick it up here. And there's the viral nature of this is in my friends scans here, right? So I can see what my Facebook friends are scanning, and I can pick it up from them, and I can carry it forward, right? So one of the interesting things about marketing to the millennial generation is they don't like to hear the corporate message straight from the corporation. They like to hear about things from their friends. They like recommendations from friends. They trust their friends more than they do big business. And this is an opportunity to leverage that phenomenon and to allow a message to maybe start in a print medium, enable an interaction on a mobile medium, allow it to end up on the internet, and allow friends to see what other folks are doing. And then finally, under top scans, we've got global top scans. What is everyone doing? And in this case, what's everybody at Case Western doing? And when I took this screenshot, the most popular things were the USA Today ad, which is right over here, the Greenie shuttle bus system, which is all the way in the back. It says, "Where's my bus?" You scan that, and that ad is smart enough to know what stop you're at, what bus line you're waiting for, what direction you want to go, and how far away is that bus. So that's a very useful piece of information. And then the third most popular one was Deloitte had created an ad for a career opportunity. One of the things that we found from this trial that's really interesting is what is seen on this chart. And on the top there, the one solo bar showcases one scan from the phone. And that happened on the 26th of February. And if you look directly down, what we have on the bottom there is total URL clicks that come from Facebook, that come from MySpace, that come from RSS feeds that we allow people to receive. And basically what we see here is one barcode scan has created a flurry of activity online. And that's very, very powerful. So that's me scanning a code, that's me following up from my Facebook page, but it's also my friends picking up on it and looking at it, and their friends looking at it, and it travels virally. So you have an exponential possibilities as a marketer for getting your message out through this system that takes advantage of convergence, right? Print, mobile, internet, tying it all together. So the trial at Case was very exciting for mobile discovery. It was a wonderful opportunity. We worked with the MEM office, the Masters of Engineering Management. We had a team of 12 grad students that worked on campus as an extension of our workforce, really. They were, helping out on a daily basis and working hand in hand with our team to drive what we were viewing as a product launch on campus. And we had a number of wonderful partners that range from Gannett, which is the largest producer of newspapers in the United States. QVC is the largest multi-channel retailer. They dominate the television retailing space. They're very strong online. And the reason that mobile is interesting to them is they want to capture that channel as well. They want to allow their customers to interact with them regardless of the channel. And you heard earlier from Inmar CMS, a very dominant promotions company. And one of our most recent use cases is a digital coupon for a sweatshirt. And I urge you to take a look at it. It's in the back of the room, that allows students, faculty, and staff to capture a coupon on their phone and then redeem it at the bookstore with their phone for an instant rebate. Just a couple brief notes on the goals of the trial. It was to implement and beta test an end-to-end 2D code ecosystem, and it was the first time in America that this was done. And to happen here at Case, Case having such a long-standing history to innovation and to mobile and to experimentation and being a major research university is, all of those things went into why Case was chosen for this trial. Two of the big learnings that we wanted to get out of this was understanding advertiser needs as well as understanding the consumer needs. And the trial gave us a real opportunity to have a lot of interaction with the consumers, with the community here at Case. And we got all sorts of feedback. We did surveys. In the next session, or the final session this afternoon, we're going to talk a bit about some of the survey findings. And we also got to meet a lot of advertisers and design all of the ads that you see around the room. And they told us what they liked and what they needed and what was important. And we're taking all of that information in, and we're continuing to innovate and develop our product and make it better every day.
As David said, my name is Jennifer Graham. I've been working with Mobile Discovery, and I've been spending a lot of time on campus lately helping with the advertising and education initiatives. I've spent a lot of time traveling in Asia, and codes are very prevalent in Japan, although I never actually noticed them until I started working with Mobile Discovery. It's something that if you're not looking for, you can completely overlook, which is why it's so important to educate and have information sessions. So this is actually a picture of an information session that we held, and students could come up, take a look at the phones, view the code intelligence platform on a computer and just kind of play around with the technology, and we could explain to them all the benefits. Another piece of awareness that we had were table tents in all of the dining facilities on campus. And we had numerous codes. In fact, in one of the editions of the Observer on-campus newspaper, we had over 14 codes. And those codes are all displayed in the back on the panel. And the codes link to various things, such as editorial content, movie reviews, schedules, all kinds of different things. So you can kind of get a feel for how diverse the content can be. This is just an example, another example of how we're promoting awareness and education. We have these banner stands, which you see throughout the room. They were placed near vending machines and other places where students hang out. We actually had an advertiser education and awareness session where some of the MEM students talked to they actually held a wireless education session. And the interesting thing was that we were speaking with university students as well as information officers from advertising companies. So not only are we educating the end users, we're also educating the people that will be using the technology and using it to advertise. So this is an example of what David was talking about earlier. This is the Where's My Bus promotion. And you can see, if you look at what pops up on your phone when you scan the code, it's an intelligent ad. It can tell you when your bus is going to come. It links to GPS. So GPS can tell you exactly how many minutes away your bus is. So that's great if it's raining and it's cold in Cleveland. You know you're not going to be sitting outside for 20 minutes waiting for your bus. This is one of the promotions that we did in Fribley, which is one of the major dining facilities on campus. We had a huge banner, and what was interesting about this banner was that there's one code on it, but that code changed 21 different times, the content behind it. So while the banner had been printed and the code was stationary, the content behind it changed on a daily basis. And there were actually markers set up. So at midnight on the end of day one, day two's content actually comes into play. So you don't have to sit there at your computer and link the content, and you can set it up automatically. This is another example. They're actually on the back of the wall. This just shows you how you can easily subscribe to a magazine using your phone. Instead of going online, entering, a website, adding your information, your phone already has all your information in it. And so what we use is our data broker to pass along information from your telephone to the subscription or service that you're looking to subscribe to. This is an example of how codes can be used to promote opt-in services such as coupons, product samples, things of that nature. So instead of including a sample in a magazine and wasting that, you can actually provide a code which, when clicked on, will give customers the opportunity to get a sample if they wish. So you're eliminating a lot of waste. A lot of times samples are included in magazines. People don't use the samples, they throw them away. It's costly, it's expensive. So this is a really great way to reach your target audience and actually address the customers that are going to use your product in the long run. And as I was saying, in Japan, codes have been around for quite some time now. There are 120 million people in Japan, and 66 million of those people access the internet. And even more of the population, 69 million, access the internet via mobile phones. And of that, 73%, that's a huge number, have used QR readers. Almost all of the phones in Japan come equipped with a barcode scanner now. And we're hoping that with time, the same thing will be happening on US phones.
As I spoke earlier, the trial was about learning. It's called a trial for a reason, and there were some really insightful things that we learned from the trial. So from advertisers, we learned that folks are very eager to get started with this. They want the whole ecosystem in place so they can use it. and they're chomping at the bit, asking when's it going to be available and how much more time, and when can we use this? When can we start talking to our clients about it? Stuff like that. So that was very very promising to hear that. Hand in hand with that is there is some cross-carrier decisions that need to be made, because there are different ways that this ecosystem can be implemented, and there has been at least one other country in the world that went about it the wrong way, and they introduced codes that worked on one carrier and another set of codes that worked for a different carrier. And if you are on carrier B and you scan a code from carrier A, it did nothing. And that creates a very poor user experience. So the carriers in this country are at least well informed enough to know that they should not be making that mistake. So just the same way that text messaging got a lot cooler when you could send a message to your friend from the Sprint network to the Verizon network, or from Sprint to AT&T, the same thing with codes. It's cool if you can scan a code that works on your network, but it's a lot cooler if you can scan codes that work on all networks, or actually it's the inverse. It's a lot cooler for the advertiser to be able to offer that sort of a solution. So from students and consumers, we found the same eagerness or similar eagerness to interact. And I'll talk in a minute about what they want to do with this solution, because we did this survey and it's very interesting to see what they want. There's certainly some confusion out there with carrier data rates, but as Laird spoke to earlier, there is a movement in the carrier community to move towards this all-you-can-eat pricing model. So you've probably heard about some of the $99 deals that are out there. And actually, it just reminds me, just the other day I got a call from my carrier. I won't tell you who it is. And they said, your bill this month is really, really high. And I said, how much is it? And he said, it's $600. And I was like, well, I just called 2 weeks ago to opt into that $99 thing that you guys are doing now. And he's like, yeah, but that doesn't take place till next month. He's like, we're going to switch you over at the end of this billing cycle. And I kind of went like this. But anyway, it's a welcome thing, those fixed price monthly plans. And it will drive data usage the same way that it does with your laptop or your PC at home. When you're browsing the web, you don't sit there worrying about how many kilobits are trickling through that Ethernet connection. You just do stuff. And that's the way it needs to be on the mobile device. And once it gets there, we'll be ready with all of these codes and all of these rich promotions and all this really wonderful stuff. So here are some of the very interesting findings from our survey. We were very happy to find that 73% of those who participated found value in code scanning, and that can be interpreted in a number of different ways. What means value to one is definitely not what means value to another. 81% thought code scanning was very useful to share personal information. So we talked about the ability to opt into a sweepstakes by QVC. We talked about the ability to opt into email alerts from USA Today, the ability to opt into a free magazine subscription from Esquire or Bazaar or whomever it is. But the folks who used the product said that's useful, to be able to share my information. I don't give up any control as a consumer, but I can complete a transaction very quickly. 88%, this is something that we're very pleased about. We've designed our portal to be used by non-technical folks. And the students, faculty and staff here at the university, as well as the advertisers that we worked with, resoundingly said, yes, it's pretty simple to use your system to do what I need to do. And 71% said they'd recommend the technology to others. What code content do you want? This is very telling. So, I don't think this is very different from any other medium. People like free product sample giveaways, contests, sweepstakes. Some things do not change. Some things are timeless. And I think people like free stuff. They like to enter contests. And, that's not going to change regardless of what the technology is. So some of the other findings, public service utilities like the bus schedule. That's very useful. If the bus is 19 minutes away and I know it takes 10 minutes to walk there, that's useful. I just save some time, assuming it's not raining. Digital rebates and coupons, there's a reason why traditional coupon redemption rate is as low as it is. Folks find it tedious to pull out scissors and to go into handouts and cut coupons and put it in your wallet. And remember that you need to pull it out when you're at the grocery store. We're hoping to simplify that process, and working with an industry leader like Inmar CMS, we think we're going to get there. And you saw Sharon's slide how complex the back end is. Their job managing the relationships with the consumers and the retailers and the advertisers. We want to simplify that and make it better for everybody in the ecosystem, hopefully remove cost and deliver value. What content did you scan? The most popular was the QVC sweepstakes, and that's because it was the biggest and the best and the most prizes and the most heavily promoted. There was a flat screen TV given away. There was a GPS device given away. There were bracelets, and I got some hoop earrings, and all sorts of really compelling stuff from QVC. So that we were very pleased to have them as a partner. And then just going down the list, the Greenie Shuttle, the magazine giveaway, campus bookstore coupon, and the email alert service. More findings. This goes into a little bit of details with regards to QVC Make It, Break It. So the campaign was a two-part campaign. The Make It allowed students, faculty, and staff to create ads, to get a code, to build mobile content on the phone, and to create a print ad and hang it around campus or put it in your back pocket. And if I did so as a student and I got 4 people to scan it and enter the contest, I was then entered into the contest one more time. So it's enabling user gen, it's leveraging social networking, it's leveraging the mobile device as a technology medium. It's kind of bringing together a lot of powerful forces in the world today. And so that was the Make It. And then the Break It was what Jen talked about earlier, which is where we had a single code displayed all over campus in banners and posters. And every day the content behind that code changed. And the beautiful thing for the advertiser is they just printed once and their campaign ran, for the full 3 weeks. And again, that's very powerful for advertisers who are working off of billboards or who put a print magazine out. Print magazines last a long time in circulation. And, this now gives them the opportunity to deliver different pieces of content based on age of that magazine. 80% found the Break It easy to understand. That goes back to what Jen talked about with regards to the education, very, very important. 63% found the Make It program was easy to understand. 93% like the prizes. And that was by design. QVC took a look at the market and chose prizes that were relevant. So it wasn't some of the other stuff that they sell. E-commerce finding was most people, and this is granted, this is a younger generation that were mostly in this student group. 65% of them are comfortable using their phones for an e-commerce transaction. Now, if you think a few years back, it's not that long ago when many of us felt uncomfortable using credit cards online. And think about how far we've come. My parents are now, booking and planning and buying their vacations online. And, it wasn't too long ago my mom started using email. So, that's powerful. That's really powerful that this younger generation, they're now ready to do commerce here. Commerce on the web, they grew up with that. That's a given. But now they're ready for commerce here. And they're even so advanced that they're thinking about what's the payment preference. They want choice. They want different options. Maybe they want to put it on a credit card. Maybe they want to send it straight to the bill of their cell phone. Maybe they want to use a prepaid service. So, it's a very savvy generation that we're dealing with, and they like control, and they like configuration, and they like options, and they like cross-channel. So, being able to offer all of this to them and then give advertisers the opportunity to tap into it and to leverage it creates a very rich opportunity for interaction. So where do we go from here? We will continue to work with our advertiser and our brand partners to develop just richer and richer solutions. This trial has led to a lot of partnership opportunities. Folks have looked at this trial as an opportunity to come play in a laboratory. Case Western was set up as a laboratory for advertisers and brands to do experiments. And the takeaway is it was a good one. And they want to not just play in a laboratory anymore, they want to play in the real world. And it's heightened the awareness at the carriers of the interest level in this and the fact that the ecosystem is close to being commercially ready. And so the movement, the snowball is just getting bigger and bigger, and it's starting to roll down the hill faster and faster. And it's very exciting for those of us who've seen it when it was about the size of a baseball and the ground was flat, to now we're on an incline and it's about ready to be the base level of the snowman. So that's exciting. Going forward, the opportunities, there's partnership opportunities, ecosystem development, and we are now shifting into a phase where we're preparing for a soft commercial launch. And that's the end of my presentation, but while I have the mic, I would like to take a moment to thank the Case Western community. We've got some representatives in the room today. We've got a representative from our student team, as well as a representative from the MEM office. I'd like you both to stand up for a sec. Suzette and Arpit. And give them a hand. There was a lot of work from their side that went into this program. And did Gary step out, or is he? Oh, there he is. Gary is one of the two professors that worked with the product innovation class, part of the MEM program. Stanton Court, who led the previous panel, was the other professor. And without their participation and dedication and assistance, none of this would have been possible. So many thanks to you. And that's it. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to take a few questions right now. If there are no questions, I also urge you to stick around and take a tour of the museum. We've got a number of phones to use. You can work with myself or Jennifer or Leanne, Raj, Jeff, Arpit, any of us, to really see it in action, to see the real demo. It's very exciting to see it live. So thank you very much.